this is the official SLZ Q&A, all right? Pod member that needs to improve the most for y'all to take the next leap. I would actually... This is gonna sound like a cop-out answer, but I think it's me. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's me. I think in a lot of conversations, I'm just not like a polarizing figure. Like I don't have a lot of polarizing takes. I think my delivery when it comes to like a bunch of my takes is too monotone. I'm trying to stay too much in the middle. That is one thing I do want to work on for the rest of the year and moving forward is just essentially just being more entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Just being more entertaining on camera, being more engaged in conversations too. Cause like the way I'm talking to y'all right now, like I'm more engaged, but I feel like I don't talk like that on the pod. Like it's always, I feel like I'm like it's cause Omar actually asks questions, but I feel like I'm just trying to give out the correct answer instead of having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like when Omar asks me, so B Souls, what's your thought on like, you know, the Knicks trade? I'm not really approaching it the same way Sage or Dama would have that conversation. I'm more so just answering the question to get the right words out. And I think that's the difference. Just take the vibe you have on SNS onto the pod and push your narratives. Yeah. I'm trying to work on it though. I'm trying to work on it. All right, this is from Nolan. He said, Souls, friendship aside, what does Omar bring to the pod? This is a crazy question, by the way. I read this earlier. Everyone knows he doesn't care about basketball. And since you yourself said you guys are trying to niche down on basketball, what does he bring? He said, it would be different if the pod was still a political commentary pod. But because all he yaps about... But because that's all he yaps about, excuse me. But that isn't the case anymore. He genuinely holds the pod back and makes the pod insufferable at times. If I wanted to watch someone who tries to turn a basketball convo into politics and race, I would just simply watch Stephen A. Smith. No way, bruh. This is crazy. It has got to a point where I can't even watch the pod anymore. SMH. What does Omar bring to the pod? I think Omar, I specifically chose Omar as the host at a point in time. Because for those who used to listen to Let's Keep It a Buck religiously, I used to be the host of the pod. I did. But I knew from the conversations I've had with Omar, through spaces, through locker room, through Discord calls, and just genuine conversations. I think Omar is a really good conversation navigator. He's a guy that knows how to navigate a conversation. He's a guy that knows where to take the conversation when it needs to, where it needs to. And not to say that he doesn't believe in everything that he's saying, but I think without Omar there, it would be a lot of just agreeing. I will say that. It would just be a lot of, not to echo everyone, but yeah, I agree. Like it would be a lot of that. I think Omar is Mr. Devil's Advocate, but I also think he believes a lot of what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what he brings to the pod, that on camera, and then secondly, y'all don't know what goes behind the scenes. Again, there was a point in time where I used to carry the email threads. I used to carry talking to the employees and the editors and all that shit. At a point in time, Omar really took in that leadership role. And he's the guy that talks to the editing team, keeps everyone in line, keeps everything organized. He's in every single one of the meetings. You know what I'm saying? He's always thinking about trying to innovate with the podcast, how we make it better, all the different trips. He also manages the finances of the pod, bro. So, yeah, Omar brings a lot to the pod. He brings a lot to the pod. Can he be annoying to some of y'all? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Not. I think I think every single one of us got haters on the pod. But yeah, Omar is very valuable to the pod, bro. Very, very valuable. I ain't gonna lie. The topics of the pod were never solely dependent on him. Was the new backgrounds also Omar's idea? Yeah, he was the one that accelerated that process. I think whatchamacallit, we were kind of set on just keeping the equipment the way it was for as long as it could, but upgrading everyone's equipment the way it's been upgraded was definitely like Omar pushing for that and me backing it up. I can't lie. Hot take, I miss Wamo. He was there today. Everyone be annoying at one point in time. Yeah, I feel it. All right, let's move on. Watching Let's Keep It a Buck all grow individually and together is great to me. Bro, I'm really proud of us for really taking that shit seriously this year. Damo is the only one that like hasn't grown his individual channel, but I think him going on PC though has still grown his individual brand. You know what I'm saying? Like like the 160 that put up to Damo stream, a decent amount of those motherfuckers were like PC dudes. You know what I'm saying? So Damo's definitely in his own way built his own following this year. Sage is like, bro, I told y'all, with all respect to everyone else, if there is a dude in Let's Keep It a Buck that has the potential to have a very volatile rise, it was Sage, bro. It's Sage Senat. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Sage. Is the pod ever going back to doing variety topics instead of just basketball? And do you actually have a 9-inch penis? Yeah, I have a 9-inch penis, man. Until you can prove otherwise, yeah. And if you don't think I do, that's racist. I've always maintained that, man. Unless you're trying to racially profile me and put Asian stereotypes on me, there is no reason to believe I don't have a 9-inch penis. You know what I'm saying? In terms of the pod, though, going back to variety topics, there's a possibility. I think there's a possibility of that. I feel like a lot of y'all just giggled on the inside there, cause you know, I do think the pod was different when we was just really freestyling everything and everything wasn't so, you know, but the point where we get there though is gonna be a long time. It's gonna be a long time. Long story short, chat, I think if we all grow individually a lot, and I'm not talking about, you know, Omar reaching 40K, me reaching 50K, Sage reaching 100K. I'm talking about Sage reaching 300, 200K. I'm reaching 200K on All Souls. Omar is reaching 200K and Damo got like 150K of his own. Like that type of growth, I think the Let's Keep It a Buck podcast can be a podcast of 4 content creators, 4 influencers that go on a podcast and just talk about what the fuck is going on in the world. I mean, what's going on like in their creatorverse. But until then, we got to pick a niche. We got to appeal to a certain demographic. And we're just slow grinding it, man. Shout out to King Addy for the gift of sub. But yeah, we're just slow grinding it, man. We're just slow grinding it until we get to that point. But I think we've also done a good job of like the variety topics y'all are looking for. It's not like there's not a place for those things to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like Omar is still hosting Twitter Spaces as much as he is. Omar got a whole channel dedicated to the variety topics, to be honest with you. Damo is doing a bunch of shit on the streams. I'm doing a bunch of shit on my streams. I guess the only difference is we're not doing it together. Well, not I guess. I know that's the difference, is that we're not doing it together. But, like, these spaces still exist. So, half of the variety topics was just hip-hop news. Yeah, half of them was just hip-hop news and the fuck did Bruce do this week? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro. Let's see. Do you think the NBA content stunted the pod's growth a little? The guest lineup tree y'all could have climbed is crazy due to the Twitch community. Y'all was like 500, 900 per stream in the second Twitch era. Probably would be at 3K today. I'm a little guy though, so I don't know. Yeah, I think that the NBA content stunted the pod's growth a little bit. But I also think we were at a crossroads where we needed to pick a direction. And I think us being the W or L podcast was a big reason as to why we switched to Twitch in the first place. But I just think we overestimated the connections that we had in the WRL pod. You know what I'm saying? We overestimated how much we can have like AMP members on the pod. And especially with how rapidly they grew, at some point they just became out of our reach. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. We were still more connected in the NBA space. So that's why we went NBA. I also think, whatchamacallit, in the NBA space, what happened with the other direction was it was Omar caring about it the most. Damo's so versatile he can talk about whatever. But there were a decent amount of podcast chat where me and Sage were just disengaged with a lot of these topics. It was just we was just line stepping, you know what I'm saying? And just some of them, like, we just truly didn't care. Like it's like what the fuck are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? At least with basketball, I can contribute more. Damo, again, he's so versatile, he can contribute in any. I think Sage, all of us are, to be honest with you. But I'm just talking about the passion per topic. I think a lot of basketball topics, we can just be in our bag more than a lot of social commentary topics. So, yeah, it did stunt the growth of the pod. But when your community is divided into basketball and social commentary / pop culture, and the game plan is to just pick a lane, then yeah, you know, it is gonna stunt the growth of the pod short term. This is crazy. This is crazy right here, bro. The political topics were cool, but when y'all talked about Bruce and Aiden drama and shit, it was yeah. I don't like it's. I get it. I get it. Obviously, if that's the podcast, it just felt like hella gossipy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't get into content creations. I didn't get into content creation to be a gossip guy, you know? Like, I just felt like the things we were talking about just felt a little too gossipy. I didn't fuck with it. But looking back, y'all definitely hated being there during the political topic era. Sage had a whole strike because of chat having a fuss. Watching the Dr. Disrespect video on the stream at the same time. Big B souls, appreciate you.